Back out here today at the Seminole County Sheriff's office. Just doing a little follow-up visit to see if there's been any change in the signage. Good, man. How you doing? What do I have to do? What's happening, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself? I was just coming back to see if there was any change in the signage around here.
I don't know what it was the last time you were here. To be honest with you, I wasn't over here, so.
Fair enough. I spoke to Sergeant Lugay about just taking a tour of the building.
Okay.
So really, that's it. And I came back to see if some of the signage was changed because obviously, yeah, okay, yeah, you don't know, And what was your name, deputy?
You didn't get filled in on the loop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what is it you need to do?
I just want to take a tour of the public building. That's it.
Okay. I don't know if I can necessarily leave here. Can you give me a second to get maybe another deputy over here and I can give you a tour?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And what was your name?
I'm sorry?
I don't want to butcher that last name.
Yeah, it's German, man. Don't worry about it. Just because we're supposed to have somebody here in the lobby.
I totally understand.
I'll give you a tour. I mean, obviously,
yeah, anything restricted, yeah.
All right. Give me just a second.
I appreciate that. And I'm sorry, what was your last name? Schwarzman.
Yeah, man, no problem. Unless my sergeant tells me I can. I mean, if I'm still in the building, he may let me, but typically we're supposed to have somebody.
Who's the sergeant on duty right now?
What's up? Last week. Do you have somebody you can send over here so I can give them a tour, or usually do it while I'm here? Okay. Yeah, that's what I told him. He's fine with that. He's going to hang out for a second. Because I know we're not technically supposed to leave, so I didn't want to be walking off. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. All right, thanks, sir. My sergeant sends somebody. Appreciate
that. Thank you very much.
It'll take a couple minutes, 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take resources away from something, but trouble. It sounds like this trouble me in a public building. You know what I mean? They should trouble you. I mean, as a constitutional deputy, the Fourth Amendment affords us the right to keep our papers private.
No, I understand that, but I mean, we have laws we have to follow, but we also have the sheriff's office policy we have to follow.
Right.
So,
but you guys have to follow that sheriff's office policy, right? I'm only obligated to follow the law, correct?
Right. And citizens are only obligated to follow the law per se, but I also have a job that I have to keep. I mean, unless I want my family to.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get. Can you appreciate like my problem with these two signs? Just saying that, actually I don't even know that one's a big deal if I check in, but this one's more of an issue saying that you have to ID, you have to surrender your Fourth Amendment rights to enter a public building. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm sorry with you.
Yeah, no worries.
I can appreciate what you do, man, but I also don't make the rules and the policies. I can only say the sheriff says, I mean, obviously I have to follow the law, so we have statutes, the Constitution, all that.
I have a meeting today at 1 o'clock in the morning with Joe Fenwick. I'm like really early.
So I guess this
necessarily violating civil rights. Now, like I said, I'm not going to we don't have to, if it's going to be a violation of civil rights, obviously we don't do that, et cetera, but if somebody's requested ID and they want to show their ID, we don't typically have that many people who have a problem with it. So like yourself,
in this case, when you do have somebody that does have a problem with it, do you know what typically the problem? Like if you're the deputy out here, I mean, it sounds like you're trying to. It sounds like you're trying to help me. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's the thing. So. I don't have a problem with that. Like I said, we want to offer a tour. Obviously, we can't go into the restricted areas or something unless we have permission or you have permission or whatever. Even I have. I mean, typically have access to the building, but there's even certain areas that typically, unless I'm told, hey, you can go in here, like I can't do that. Obviously, policies and whatever. The sheriff dictates that. But we do have the rules and regulations. However, I do not mind, like in your instance, you want to go and have a tour, no problem fulfilling that. And then you won't have to give your ID. I have no problem with that. So, but typically 9 times out of 10, if that's what they ask and people are willing to give their ID, I mean, that's just kind of what we do. I don't mind making a special, I don't want to say privilege for it or whatever.
Exception.
Okay, yeah, I don't mind doing that. And because it's not really a big deal.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
It shouldn't be, at least, right?
In all honesty, no. But like I said, I have to follow certain things because just like everybody has a boss. You know, unless you run your own company, you got to answer to somebody. I have to answer to somebody too.
So just out of curiosity, I mean, it's probably a little different for you because you're an actual deputy and he's probably pretty responsive, but I tried to send a couple emails to Sheriff Lima about these issues, and they were just ignored.
Man, I don't know anything about that.
Do you know if he's responsive with public inquiry? I mean, he just ignored me.
I would assume, but I really don't know in the day-to-day, man. Like, even I don't email the sheriff. Like, we have a chain of command.
Yeah.
Like, I can't just,
Are you responsive to emails that get sent to you from the public?
It depends on what the email is. So there are certain emails that we get from the public that have to go, like public records requests, etc. They have to be routed.
Yeah.
So I can't answer those.
Right.
I can't fulfill those requests.
Right.
So those have to be routed. And if you're saying, am I responsive in the fact that I route them? Absolutely. When I need to. If it's an email from the public regarding, like, maybe I went to a call for service and I provided my email and it's like an exchange based on their case, yeah. Now, I can tell you that, I mean, when I'm off, just like, I don't know what you do for a living, but when your day's off, I mean, are you doing work stuff?
I'm doing it right now.
Well, right, but when you're not doing this, so if you consider this work on your days off, do you work?
It's an interesting question. So do I respond to my email or something like that?
Like work email,
yeah, probably.
Like that.
I mean, I definitely take days off completely.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So it's just like anything else. If I have a couple of days off, like if I have a weekend off, I'm typically probably not going to respond over the weekend.
Yeah.
To emails because
Yeah, no, I'm the same way.
When I'm off,
punch out.
family time is family time. I mean, you got to be committed to your job, and I am when I'm here, and I give everything to the job when I'm here. But my off time is my off time. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to hang out? Or you want to just walk in and give him a tour? Or you want to hang out? What do you want to do? No matter either one. He just wants a tour, so he just needs somebody here to hang out. That's fine.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I've already seen the fire department side, so I don't even need to go on that side.
No problem.
How long have you been a deputy?
February will be 19 years.
19 years.
Yeah.
What's the hardest part about your job?
Maybe that changes from day to day. It really does.
Sergeant Lugay really makes me angry because that's green, which means obviously I have access to this office, right?
Yeah. Do you want to go in?
I do, but let's see what else is down here.
And I know the majority of these are going to be red, obviously, because we have,
Yeah, and I completely
Offices
respect key card access and restricted areas.
Yeah.
So, what is the hardest part about your job?
Well, like I said, it depends on the day to day, man. It's kind of hard to say. Different dealing with like calls for service because I worked the road for the majority of my career. And I only have like 6 years left, so of course I came to the courthouse. I'm really looking for an easier gig, but just
A change of
down,
pace.
a change of pace. Yeah.
I can appreciate that. Are you just, and I don't mean to say just.
That's open, but I believe that inside is red. But if you want to walk in there, you can.
Gotcha.
So yeah, change of pace. Probably calls that deal, like the hardest part of the calls would be the ones that deal with like children and stuff like that, obviously. Especially if you're a father.
I am.
Yeah.
So I can.
So one of the calls relating to kids, obviously, any kind of, child death or abuse or anything like that are always typically the struggles.
So you mind if I ask you? A question that could be slightly embarrassing if you didn't know the answer?
I mean, hey man, if I know it, I know it. If not, I don't know everything.
All right,
I don't claim to know everything.
There you go. Humility is probably the biggest thing.
Listen, no one in this job knows everything. I mean, I don't care how long you've been a law enforcement or a cop, and there's people out there who know a lot of stuff. But for somebody to say that they know everything and they don't learn something new every day, it's impossible.
Well, I think having you sound like a humble guy, and having that humility is probably pretty important. So I'll ask the question.
Okay.
The First Amendment of the Constitution, it secures 5 fundamental freedoms. Do you know what those freedoms are?
Oh man. You know what? We actually had a conversation about this, and I don't know what they all were.
How about I get you rolling? I'll get you rolling.
Okay.
Freedom of speech.
All right. Yeah, freedom of speech. I think freedom of press, obviously, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know if that's included in that.
It is. It's number 2. Actually, no. It's number 3.
Religion.
That's number 2.
I'm sorry.
That's number 2.
Oh, second amendment.
Religion. Yeah, religion.
Number 2 in the first one or the second one?
In the first one.
Okay.
I'm making things really confused.
Yeah. So you have speech, religion, man. Yeah, you'd have to help me out with the last one.
Press, assembly, and petition.
Oh, right. Okay.
Assembly
What was
and
the last one?
petition.
Right.
So when I made my email to Sheriff Lima, I was trying to petition my government for redress of grievances, which is why the hell I can't walk up the stairs to this restricted area, because it's clearly not restricted.
Right.
So I'm not sure if you saw the video or if these things get disseminated within
a little bit. I saw bits and pieces of. I mean, obviously they know we know you were here and all that stuff. So
yeah, and I probably wasn't at my best, and I'll assume that Sergeant Lugay wasn't at his best. But it's frustrating, because I'm actually coming in here. I don't actually want to talk to anybody.
Right.
I just want to walk around the public building and really be left alone.
I mean, technically that's your right per se. I mean. Yeah. Obviously, within the areas and all that stuff, and I understand all that. Some days I don't want to talk to people either, although most of those days I'm working, so I have to. But I get it.
Well, if this was one of those days, I really appreciate you.
Actually, it wasn't, but this morning was actually, believe it or not, this morning was kind of rough. So having the conversation is actually not that bad.
All right, well,
it's actually kind of lighten the day. Did you like to go in here?
Yeah, let's go in here.
So it's not that bad, man. But some days are just like that. I don't know. Actually, I don't even know if anybody's in today because it's a Friday. Hey, good. I got a First Amendment guy.
I'm actually just a journalist. I'm just a citizen journalist. I'm not a.
Journalist. I'm sorry, citizen journalist. Yeah, I don't think the sheriff's even here or anything like that. So, I don't know how far.
I don't need to go in there, Deputy. I mean, unless that's a public area. Oh, it looks like a public area. Can I come back there?
You just can't go into the sheriff's actual office.
Oh, great.
So typically that's not a public area. He has
Okay,
to say
yeah.
hey, and he's not here to say hey. This area here is public, and then there's offices back there that are.
Okay, and that young lady, what does she do for the sheriff's office? Young lady, what do you do for the sheriff's office?
I just sit up front. I'm kind of like a receptionist.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
What was your name?
Maria.
Maria.
Actually, I don't think I've ever even met her. So.
Yeah.
I don't come up here that often myself, so
Yeah.
Swordsman.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah. I don't come up here
All
that
right,
often
thank you very
myself.
much.
Of
I
course.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no problem.
So unless I'm called, then I try not to have that. I try not to have that happen.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you. You too. She might have been talking to you, but.
She might have. If so, then I apologize.
That's it, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem, bud. And what's your name?
I'm just one of the people.
Yeah, okay, no
just one of the people.
No problem. I just don't want to, insult you by not.
Yeah, no, you weren't. You were the furthest from rude you can get, man. You were great.
Hey, man, I ain't trying to be, like I said, everybody has bad days, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, and I won't belabor that point. No,
Yeah.
I'll accept what you're saying because it's true. I have plenty of them.
Well, I'm sure whatever you do in your regular life, I'm sure if you deal with any kind of customer service or people, then everybody has their days, man. Everybody has a tester.
Is it Loomis? Loomis?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Loomis knows?
Man, I honestly have no idea.
All right.
So
Deputy Loomis, I got a question for you.
Absolutely.
The First Amendment of the Constitution, it secures 5 fundamental freedoms. Do you happen to know what those 5 freedoms are?
Not off the top of my head.
Would you make a good faith effort to find out what those 5 freedoms are? It's extremely important to your job.
Sure.
I appreciate that.
Freedom of speech, freedom of press.
Yes, yes.
That,
Yeah, you're rolling. You're rolling. Want to
Yeah.
keep going?
Freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of petition, freedom of assembly, and
I got the one you're missing.
yeah. Freedom of speech. I know freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of religion.
That was it. Good job. Good job. The deputy, the one that's not a deputy, gets it?
I think he was a little more. Well, you were here last time. That's cheating.
That is true. That is true. I said it several times that day.
Yeah.
I hate being put in the spotlight.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know how to.
That's why I said someone's like, "What's your name?" And I'm like, I'm wearing it. I know what my name is. But
And you know, I'm not sure how to say that to somebody in a way that doesn't make them feel like they're on the spot. You know, it's not meant to be a question that gets somebody on edge, but I understand that having a camera out, you know, that makes people pensive, you know?
Well, it's not even the camera. Like, have you ever?
You told me to write. If you gave me a test and said write down the First Amendment, I could probably do much better than if I had someone
Right.
said.
So if you
I think I might get less
trained anybody?
cooperation if I handed out tests.
I would do better on a test. If you gave me a written test, I would do so much better on a written test.
So have you ever, and I found this a lot because I used to train a lot here. I used to be a field trainer here on the road specifically. And a lot of the trainees, like, they would know the stuff, but if I just turned to them, like we're sitting in a car and I just said, "Hey, what's this?" 9 times out of 10, they just, I don't know if it's human nature. It's like the, that whole being put on the spot is. I mean, it could be anything, and they wouldn't be able to. But I could ask them. We could be having lunch, and I could just ask them a random question, and they'd be able to tell me exactly what it was that I had just asked them like an hour or 2 later. I don't know. Maybe it's human nature.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna keep asking now. I think
Hey man,
it's,
I'm not dissuading you. If I'm just saying I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
it's just my theory on it. So.
Yeah, no, it's just as valid as any other. I really appreciate you taking the time to do it. I really do. And Deputy Loomis, thank you very much. Have a good day. And young man, have a great day. Much better. Much better interaction at the Seminole County Sheriff's Office. Very pleased with Deputy Schwarzman. Schwarzman, I'm sorry, Deputy, if I butcher your name. We got Longwood Police out here. Not sure if we remember my interaction with Longwood. But they've got a chief of police that is dirty. He's dirty as hell. We're out here today to ensure our natural rights are respected by those who swore an oath to support, protect, and defend the rights of the people. The purpose of all interactions is to peacefully promote government accountability and transparency. Please like, share, and subscribe so this message can reach as many people as possible. I implore you to peacefully seek redress to any and all of your grievances. This is a public service.